Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
It's our People unit for the month of August, and we're going to talk about a sport that is not usually played in summer. However, if you do want to play this sport, there are places for you to play it, but you need to have an indoor ice rink, and then you can play this game. That, of course, is ice hockey, and we've got someone from Taiwan who actually plays ice hockey really well.
We sure do. She's done very well for herself. There aren't a lot of places to practice here, but you'll find out that Tiffany Xu, she grew up at least she went to high school in Canada, but she's really talented. So we're going to be talking about her background and a little more about hockey. I must confess, I don't know anything about hockey. I was in a state where hockey was not popular, although we had Wayne Gretzky in Arizona for a while. He was, I think he was the owner of the Phoenix Coyotes.
Or the coach. I'm not quite sure either. The Phoenix Coyotes.
I think they bought into the team, yeah.
Yeah, he did have something to do with the team there. Yes, in the USA, there are a number of hockey teams that are in areas that don't snow, like in LA and Florida and Arizona. So there are some opportunities for you in ice hockey if you're interested. And Tiffany Xu might just happen to be your role model.
True.
And she might give you some ideas about how to get into playing professional hockey, whether you're a man or a woman. So let's talk about Tiffany Xu's journey to the big league. Let's read the entire contents of today's lesson now one time.
Ice hockey isn't big in Taiwan. Hockey players only have one ice rink in Taipei Arena. However, this didn't stop Tiffany Xu from setting out on a journey that has led to her becoming the U.S. National Women's Hockey League's NWHL first Taiwanese player. Xu got into hockey through roller skating. The club where she skated had an inline hockey team, and a coach suggested she try it. Xu liked it and played ice hockey when Taipei Arena got its rink. When the coach asked for a goalkeeper, Xu volunteered. After going to high school in Canada, she studied at the Rochester Institute of Technology in New York, U.S. Though she didn't make the university team, Xu gained valuable experience playing for local clubs. Moreover, she completed her education and became a mechanical engineer in order to have a career in case hockey didn't work out. Meanwhile, Xu was making her reputation playing for Taiwan. Her amazing performances helped her team win gold at a Women's Hockey World Championship in 2019. She was named the competition's best goalkeeper. Now, Xu has signed with the NWHL's Buffalo Beauts. Her success has inspired hockey fans in Taipei, who see Xu as a role model. She hopes to promote the sport, especially among girls, so people will have the right coaches, equipment, and facilities to follow in her footsteps.
Let's talk about hard knocks and hockey sticks, Tiffany Xu's journey to the big league. Now, if you talk about hard knocks, you're talking about difficulties that you encounter in your life. And, of course, sometimes if you want to get ahead, you are going to experience some hard knocks in your life. And in this particular case, it's difficult to get into a hockey league if you're from Taiwan because you just don't have the tradition here. People can't really train very well here because you lack the facilities. And also, of course, if you play hockey, you use a hockey stick. If you play baseball, you use a baseball bat. If you play tennis, you've got a tennis racket. And if you play hockey, whether it's ice hockey or inline hockey, you use a hockey stick.
You do. Let's talk about how Tiffany Xu's journey wasn't that easy, but she kept working at it. Ice hockey, as we know, isn't big in Taiwan. I would say baseball and basketball, especially basketball perhaps, are bigger as at least people who follow professional teams. We only have one rink, as we talked about, and that's located in the Taipei Arena.
Exactly. And if you want to play hockey here in Taiwan, it is possible, but you're probably going to have to play inline hockey. There are various rinks around Taiwan that have the facilities for playing inline hockey, and there are quite a few teams and leagues for young people and stuff like that.
Now, inline, let's just make this clear. There's no ice.
Right.
Yeah, you're skating on that hard floor, yeah.
You would use inline skates for that. And, of course, in North America, where I'm from, where we're from, actually, most hockey is ice hockey, so we often don't bother saying the word ice. We just say hockey. What's your favorite sport? Oh, I like hockey.
Yeah.
I used to go to New York Rangers games all the time.
Yeah, I never thought about that. We just say hockey. We don't say ice hockey. You know, I was walking a couple of days ago in this neighborhood where I was working, and I passed by, I would say it's an elementary school, and the kids were outside on recess or they were in PE, and they had inline skates on. When I was growing up, we didn't have that, so that's kind of cool. I think it's great exercise. So some of those kids might want to look into a career playing hockey or ice hockey. You get a lot of practice if you are a good inline skater, at least. Now, how did she get her start? Well, she got into hockey through roller skating, just as we were talking about. There was a club where she skated that had an inline hockey team. Again, there's no ice. You're skating on a hard surface. And her coach suggested she try it. Sometimes our lives move in different directions just based on people giving us suggestions, like a coach or a mentor or a good teacher or a friend, and that's what happened here.
Indeed. So, of course, she was participating in an inline hockey team. Again, that's playing hockey with inline skates. And there are various sports centers here in Taiwan that have places to play inline hockey and stuff like that. So I'm sure lots of you are very familiar with inline hockey. But again, if you want to play ice hockey, it's quite difficult. There's only one place, as you said, the Taipei Arena. But that did not stop Tiffany Xu from setting out on this journey that led her to becoming the U.S. National Women's Hockey League's first Taiwanese player. So in the world, there are a number of ice hockey leagues, like the NHL in North America, and there are various leagues in Europe. I think there's a league in Russia.
Oh, really?
And probably in Sweden and various northern European countries there. But if you want to play hockey as a woman, you've got the NWHL in North America. I think they have 6 teams or so. Most of them are in the U.S., but I think there's 1 or maybe 2 teams in Canada as well. So in any case, this is how she got her start. She started playing inline hockey, and then her coach kind of saw her performance there and said,
She looks good, yeah.
Yeah, maybe you ought to consider ice hockey. Check into it. You might enjoy that. So yes, inline hockey and ice hockey are similar, but if you play inline hockey, you can't just automatically start playing ice hockey. You still kind of have to retrain. You don't have to start from zero again, but still it does require a kind of adjustment, but you'll get the hang of it soon enough.
Yeah, that's true. Well, her coach, who had watched her play, thought she would make a good goalkeeper. That's a position on the hockey team. I wanted to mention briefly here, I know sometimes you hear that I'm working in a team. When we talk about sports, it's mostly they play on a team. So that's the correct preposition there. But yeah, I see a lot of that in Taiwan. Almost everyone says in a team instead of on a team. Here, the coach thought she would make a good goalkeeper. And that's the person who's standing right there in front of the net, and they're guarding against someone actually hitting that puck. That's that thing that they play with in ice hockey. They don't have a ball, they have a puck. And if you hit it into the net and get it past that goalkeeper, then you score. Now, Tom, talk a little bit about this word goalkeeper.
Okay, that's one of the positions in ice hockey. Of course, there are other positions. There's a right wing, left wing, center, defenseman, I guess, if you're men. But goalkeeper, again, as you said, is the person who stands in front of the net. Now, if you play soccer, that position is also called goalkeeper. But I should mention that at least in the United States and Canada, in the NHL, that position is usually called the goaltender, which is slightly different. So goalkeeper, to me, is mostly used in soccer, whereas goaltender is the word in hockey, although they may use goalkeeper in other parts of the world, but goaltender is what we say in North America.
I know for sure they use goalkeeper in England because when you look it up in the dictionary, it says chiefly British. So go with either one. We've got people who will be studying, perhaps, in the UK. So that would be the term for them. If you're going to America, it's actually goaltender. To tend something is to take care of it. So they're actually like babysitting the net. That would be their position. I've always thought they had the most pressure. The goalkeepers, the goaltenders.
Right. You can't ever score as a goaltender. It's always about how many goals that you allowed in.
Yeah.
So it can be quite embarrassing if you allow in, say, 5 or 6 goals a game.
I was going to say 10 or 12, but yeah.
That's a lot. You would have to leave the ice in disgrace. That does happen sometimes, but
Sure.
in any case, we'll continue talking about the life and times of Tiffany Xu as a goaltender in the NWHL in just a couple of seconds. Let's take a break now and listen to our Chinese teacher.
大家好，我是 Olive， 现在要进行第5单元的中文讲解。这篇文章在介绍台湾冰球选手徐子庭，她是台湾第一位进入美国国家女子职业冰球联盟的选手。如果有去过小巨蛋冰上乐园的人可能会知道，我们的冰球选手或是溜冰选手必须要和入场体验溜冰的游客们共用一个场地。文章第1段就说明了冰球这项运动在台湾并不盛行。首先我们来看到第1题，这一题的答题关键为 however 然而，我们可以由此推知空格这一句会与前面一句的语义成相反或是对比。而空格前一句指出，虽然冰球选手们只有台北小巨蛋里的那座溜冰场可以进行训练，然而这并没有阻止徐子庭开始一段使她成为美国国家女子职业冰球联盟的第1位台湾选手的旅程，所以答案就选 A setting out。文章第2段说明徐子庭进入冰球界的经历与过程。我们先来看到第2段第2句提到的 inline hockey，这是陆地冰球的意思，而这种运动是在木质、水泥、柏油或塑胶地板上进行，规则与冰球极为相似。接下来看到第2题，这一题是测验特殊动词的用法，表达要求、命令、建议、请求、坚持等语义的动词，后面接 that 所引导的名词子句需要用假设语气，表示应该采取某种行动或完成某项要求却还没执行，所以 that 子句里用 should 加原形动词的结构，但通常会省略 should， 只留下原形动词。而空格前有表达建议的动词 suggest， 这题就是测验 suggest that 主词加上 should 加上原形动词的句型，所以答案就选 C try。We're
going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Okay, let's continue with our lesson. We're talking about Tiffany Xu and her journey to the big league. She is a goaltender or goalkeeper in the NWHL, the National Women's Hockey League in North America, and she's the first player from Taiwan. Now, let's continue talking about her life and times here in hockey. Remember, her coach thought she showed some promise in inline hockey, so he or she, I'm not sure if the coach was a boy or a girl, but the coach suggested she try ice hockey. She liked it and played ice hockey at the Taipei Arena. and she volunteered to be the goalkeeper or the goaltender. Now, after going to high school in Canada, she studied at the Rochester Institute of Technology in New York, U.S. And I assume that's in Rochester, New York, which is upstate. An institute is some kind of educational institute, like the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. It's basically an advanced college or university.
Right. I actually went to school in Rochester, New York. That's where this is located. We affectionately call that city Ra-Cha-Cha. They have a weird accent. They wouldn't say Rochester, they say Rochester with this really nasal sound. But you have to like lots of wind and snow if you go to school there. So prepare yourself. But RIT, Rochester Institute of Technology, is very good. It's a great school. So she obviously had good grades and tested well. She got into that university. Now, she didn't make the university team. You can imagine Rochester probably gets a lot of people from all over the world who want to play hockey there on their college team. Rochester, of course, has lots of interest in ice hockey because there's lots of snow and ice there. And so she wasn't quite good enough to make the university team, but she just kept practicing. How did she gain valuable experience? Well, she played for some local clubs. Valuable, I think sometimes people look at this word and think it means it's worth some sort of money. How much money is it worth? Not necessarily. It could be really extremely useful or important information or something that means a lot to you that you would your heart would break if you somehow lost this thing that you have. Could be something maybe that your parents left to you after they passed away. So she gained valuable experience and she played for the local clubs. So they didn't just have, college teams and college competition there. They actually had local clubs where people can join as a hobby just to, enjoy themselves. There are lots of local clubs, at least sports clubs in different cities.
Yep, and they could be organized.
Yeah.
Like here in Taiwan, of course, I see lots of local softball leagues where they meet on Sundays and play games, and they all have uniforms and stuff like that.
That's fun.
I don't think it's professional. I think they're just doing it for fun, and that's probably what she was doing here. She played for some local clubs in Rochester there. Moreover, or also, in addition, she completed her education and became a mechanical engineer in order to have a career in case hockey didn't work out. An engineer, of course, is a person who designs machines or engines. Bridges and stuff in public. My brother was a civil engineer.
Oh,
yeah, he's in sales now, but he was a civil engineer designing water storage tanks, basically. And my other brother is a chemical engineer. I think he works for Shell, is last I heard. But she became a mechanical engineer just in case hockey didn't work out. And if you want to be a professional hockey player, you still need to prepare for another career because most people retire from hockey in their 30s.
It's a tough sport. I've watched a little bit of it, and seems like they really are rough on their bodies. A lot of the hockey players are missing teeth, so it's a tough sport. Anyway, yeah, I think most parents, especially Asian parents, really would like their child to pursue something that's solid. I wanted to go into music, and my parents kept going, but major in something else, Steph. So, yeah, that's your backup in case your dream doesn't come true. So it says here she was making herself a really great reputation. Reputation, guys, is a word we use to talk about how people view you, their opinions of you. Reputation without any sort of adjective doesn't mean good or bad. You have to put something in front of that. So if someone has a bad reputation, you've done things that make people not respect you. If you have a good reputation, you've done some good things and people have positive things to say about you to others.
Yeah, I could say, for example, my friend John has a reputation for being late to work all the time.
Ooh.
So he was fired from his job for being late. He has that reputation. People know about that. He has a tendency to be late. So here, she was making her reputation playing for Taiwan. And people in Taiwan were, of course, proud of her. Her amazing performances helped her team win gold at a Women's Hockey World Championship in 2019. So she was on a championship team here just last year, back in 2019, before all the sports seasons were suspended or canceled or whatever.
Right. It says here, not only did she win gold with her teammates, but she was named the competition's best goalkeeper. If you're in a competition, it's a contest, and you're competing against others. It might be one person, it might be a team, as it is here. But you keep playing until you finally have a winner. So she was named the competition's best goalkeeper. That's a great prize to win. Sometimes you get a trophy or some sort of acknowledgement of your, that you did a good job. In baseball, they give out MVP trophies. Tennis, well, they don't have an MVP, do they, there? But in other sports, at least team sports, they usually pick out one or two of the most popular, most important players for that win. So she was then signed with the Buffalo Beauts. They're a team with the NWHL. Butte is short for beauty, but we use it quite often, guys. Like, I was saying to Tom, when we went fishing, if I caught a great-looking fish, my dad would say, "Ooh, you got a beaut there, Steph." So it doesn't have to necessarily be used with a pretty female or a pretty male. It can be something like, maybe someone hit you in the face and you have a big bruise. Wow, you got a beaut there.
Ooh. Got to watch out for that. So, of course, she's signed. She has a contract with the Buffalo Beauts in the NWHL. Now, her success has inspired hockey fans in Taipei who see Xu as a role model. So people here in Taiwan are going to know about this. She's going to be in the news. And lots of young people, probably mostly girls, but boys too, I suppose, are going to be inspired by her story. And they're going to have dreams of maybe being a professional hockey player themselves. Of course, again, you only have one place to practice, but hey, that might be good enough. You might have some potential in hockey, just like Tiffany Xu has. Now, she hopes to promote the sport, especially among girls, so people will have the right coaches, equipment, and facilities to follow in her footsteps. So yes, indeed, she wants to promote the sport. If you promote something, that means you try to make that thing more known, you support that thing, and you try to look for other people to support that thing as well.
Yeah, you encourage it, you make it become more word of mouth. Anyway, yeah, promote. She wants to encourage people to really check into the sport. Also, she wants people to have the right coaches, equipment. Equipment are the things that you need for a particular activity. You might have cooking equipment that you need to go out and buy, or first aid equipment. If someone, has an issue, you might want to have that on hand. Guys, please don't put an S on equipment. It is non-count. So, yeah, they need the right equipment, but they also have here, she is wanting people to have all of these things so that they're able to follow in her footsteps. Tom, what does that mean?
It just means to go after somebody else, do as they have done. If they're successful, then you want to be successful just like them.
Yeah.
If you have a role model, for example, like maybe you like Bob Dylan or something, and you want to follow in his footsteps, that means you want to be a musician just like him. You're going to follow in his footsteps and become a famous rock star or whatever. So there you go. There's the story of Tiffany Xu, and hopefully some of you out there, especially you girls, will be inspired to play ice hockey. We wish you the best of luck. It's time now to listen to our Chinese teacher.
我们来看到第二段第6句出现的形容词 valuable 是有价值的、值钱的意思。我们来看一个例句 Julie's a valuable staff member and it'll be hard to replace her when she leaves. 朱莉是位很有价值的员工，她离开后很难找人取代她。而能够表示珍贵的、贵重的形容词有非常多，常见的有 priceless， Priceless， 无价的，通常是指无法衡量价值的人事物。The thieves stole several priceless paintings while the museum guard was asleep. 小偷趁博物馆警卫睡着时偷走了几幅无价的画。而这一句的 priceless 能与 valuable 互换。而如果想要表达物品的价格很高，东西很昂贵的话，可以用 costly, C-O-S-T-L-Y. Melanie decided to get rid of her old car because repairing it was so costly. 梅兰妮决定处理掉她的旧车，因为维修车子的费用太昂贵了。如果想要形容某种东西有特殊的价值，可以用 precious, 珍贵的 P-R-E-C-I-O-U-S. The Smithsonian Museum has a collection of precious gems and minerals. 史密森尼博物馆收藏了许多珍贵的宝石和矿物。接着我们来看到第3题，空格这一句的前半段指出徐子婷并没有进入大学球队，后半段则说明她为当地俱乐部打球而获得了宝贵的经验，文意成对比，所以答案就选 B, though 表示虽然她没有进入大学球队，仍获得了宝贵的经验。文章最后一段说明徐子婷在冰球界的出色表现，以及她成为了许多人的榜样。接着我们来看到第4题，这句指出她的球队在西元2019年世界女子冰球锦标赛赢得了冠军，而且后面一句指出她被选为那场赛事的最佳守门员。我们可以由此推知，她被选为最佳守门员是因为她出色的表现，所以答案选 C, performances. 我们来看到最后一段第3句的名词 competition 有竞赛或竞争的意思，而这个单字的动词形式是 compete, C-O-M-P-E-T-E, 有竞争、比赛的意思。如果要表达与……竞争，就可以用 compete with 或是 compete against 加名词。我们来看一个例句。Our team is competing against last year's champion, so we really have to work hard. 我们的队伍将要和去年的冠军竞争，所以我们真的必须努力。而竞争者或是对手就是 competitor, C-O-M-P-E-T-I-T-O-R. Peter ran faster than all the other competitors in the running race. 彼得在跑步比赛中跑得比所有其他竞争对手快。而如果想要表达竞争激烈或有竞争力的，就可以用 competitive, C-O-M-P-E-T-I-T-I-V-E. Sally is a competitive salesperson and always tries to sell more products than her colleagues. 莎莉是一位有竞争力的业务，她总是力图卖出比同事更多的产品。接着我们来看到第5题，空格这一句说明很多台北的冰球球迷将徐子婷视为榜样。我们可以推测说她的成功也激励了很多球迷，所以答案选 B, inspired. 今天的讲解就到这边，谢谢收听。
That is it for today. Thank you for joining us, and please join us again next time for another edition of our program. From all of us here at English Digest, I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
Goodbye.
Bye.